This is Out of the Box with Jonathan Clark on Q1043.
All right, welcome back. Jonathan Clark in the studio with the band. They call themselves Arthur Buck, and here is the album. It is an excellent debut album, and they're playing Music Hall of Williamsburg September 20th. All the tour dates at arthurbuck.com. And we are talking about Joseph Arthur, who is here, acclaimed and prolific singer-songwriter, producer, artist, and Brooklyn resident, which we love. And Peter Buck, a founding member of a little band from Athens, Georgia called REM, and also producer. A ton of other great music from him with bands like the Minus Five, Hindu Love Gods, the Baseball Project, and many others. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you. That was certainly a really long list of accomplishments.
Well, I mean, I could go on, really. It is. It's incredible. So, but you guys have known each other for a long time. You've played, recorded, and toured together. I think, Joseph, you opened for REM at one point back in the day. Mm-hmm. There is an interesting story about how this album came together because it wasn't, you know, backstage at the City Winery or a gig or just, you know, a one-off sort of thing. But tell us that story and where it took place.
Well, I have a place in Todos Santos in Mexico, kind of far south, a little town. And I got word that Joe was in town. I said, hey, come over Tuesday. You know, we'll go swimming, maybe get dinner. And no Joe. And I'm like, you know, he's probably busy. And right at midnight here, I hear this voice going, yo, yo. And we go out, it's Joe, and he has every single thing he owns on his back. He goes, man, I'm living way out in the woods, and there's like weird sounds and animals out there. And I just understand that. But, you know, when I'm in Mexico, the only thing I ever do is swim, sleep, and play guitar. And so Joe would wander out while I'm playing guitar, and things started happening. It wasn't pre-planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great. So
I went to go pick up a dobro.
That's what I read.
That's why I went. That's why I went. I didn't know he was going to be there. I just thought I was going to meditate for a week. It was going to be one of those like spiritual journeys where you just go somewhere that you don't really, you know, because I've been there before for his festival and I know a few people, but it was kind of.
Where is that, Peter? Is that like Baja or something?
Yeah, it's far south of Baja. It's,
okay.
It's a small little town. It's a fishing village. You know, it's getting, like everywhere, it's getting a little more populous.
Right, yeah. Well, it sounds very relaxing. Peter, you are known for your massive record collection. I'm wondering now, in 2018, have you continued that collection? Have you purged? Have you digitized? Have you added additions to the house to make room for the albums?
Kind of all of the above.
Really?
I don't get rid of vinyl unless I absolutely hate the record. But just recently I realized, you know, I've got however many years worth of CDs that are in a closet, and I haven't looked at them. So I burned them. I still use the iPod. I think the iPod's great. So,
yeah.
So I just kind of gave those away. And, you know, I'm trying not to fill my house to the roof.
Yeah.
But it kind of is getting there. That and guitars.
Yeah. Well, how many guitars do you have now?
I don't even want to.
You're like Keith Richards. He has a building in Manhattan for all of his guitars.
Yeah, I don't have that, but I probably have 80 that I play regularly.
And how many are Rickenbackers?
Probably 10.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay. So, Joseph, I read that you are hoping one day that Peter will become a radio DJ.
Oh, yeah, he should be. Yeah,
right.
When we were making the video, that was one of the best parts was we were riding around all these crazy locations in Portland, like a couple hours in the car, I'd say. And so I was just like, what's this? What's this? Well, he has a great collection because he has these iPods full of music. He still has iPods. So, and just old garage rock stuff. And, you know, underrated Prince albums, stuff like that. But yeah, he'd be a good DJ for sure. Encyclopedic knowledge.
Well, Peter, I have to ask you about, have you checked out the Are You Talkin' REM, RE Me podcast?
Oh, I know of it.
Adam Scott from Parks and Recreation and Scott Aukerman from Comedy Bang Bang. They just did one, and they gave you guys a huge shout out on their podcast.
What, Arthur Buck?
Yes.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think they're
I've
in
heard of this podcast.
I think they're, well, you know, and Andrew told me about it. Andrew's holding the Facebook Live camera. He told me about it, and that used to be a U2 podcast. And actually, U2 went and guested on the show at some point. They changed it to REM after U2. And there's a million. I think they do one every week now. So they gave you guys a huge shout out.
Oh, that's great. What'd they say?
They said the album is amazing, and they're coming to LA. We got to get tickets. Nice. We got to go to the show. So maybe you guys should do that show when you go to LA. Joseph, I've never interviewed you before, so please indulge me. I hope you don't mind. I have to ask you about the time quite a while ago where you auditioned for Peter Gabriel at this club here in New York City, Fez, that no longer exists.
Yeah, and Lou Reed.
And Lou Reed came to the sort of the showcase, if you will.
With his DAT recorder. Remember those?
Oh, DAT.
Digital audio.
Wow.
tape.
I still have one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I got the little tiny cassettes too.
I don't have mine anymore, but I don't. Well, probably in storage actually. Yeah, well, I was like, I was a bass player, so I was just, and I had just started being an acoustic guitar player, sort of folk singer, and Peter Gabriel got my demo tape just by a total fluke of fate. I gave it to somebody in a 12-step meeting.
Well, he didn't find it on SoundCloud. We know that probably, right?
No, this was before the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was already freaked out, and because this like represented like a life-changing opportunity, like because I was working minimum wage, if I could get this, and then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes before I go on, I find out from Peter's daughter that Lou Reed's coming, and
no pressure
with his DAT recorder to record it for the label, so that Peter could take it back to England and they would like verify if I was worthy of it or not. And so I just remember going into the bathroom and just like locking the door behind me and just like literally praying.
Yeah.
And then I played a gig and it was like, time stood still. And then I went up to Lou right afterwards and he was like, "That was really good. I like that song, especially the one called King of Hide and Seek." But I don't have a song called King of Hide and Seek. But I had a lyric that said something like that in it. So yeah.
And then you went on to do this Lou Reed tribute album, I think.
That's right.
You did Letterman with Peter, and I think Mike Mills.
Yeah, that was when Letterman announced his retirement at that gig, and Mills tweeted it. And
the first person on earth to tweet it. He just got that Twitter thing like 5 days before. So he was all of a sudden the most famous Twitter.
Right.
No one was watching the show. I was watching it and I went, "Guys, I think David Letterman's retiring."
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
and everyone went, "What?" I said, "He's pretty much, I think he's saying he's going to retire." I don't know if it was his last show or what, but.
And that was 2014, I think, something like that. Yeah.
It was pretty intense.
And you guys did Walk on the Wild Side.
Right.
So for this album, Joe, when you guys decided, okay, this isn't just a song or two, we're going to make a full album. It's pretty nice to have a guy like this guy right here, known for his legendary signature riffs to like bounce ideas off of, right?
Well, yeah, beyond that. I mean, he just writes great songs on guitar that, and full-on arrangements, and and they're just, it's very melodic as well. So it's a joy to write with Peter. It really is. So, nothing more to say about it other than that, really.
Joseph Arthur and Peter Buck are with us. Their new album, Arthur Buck. They'll be at the Music Hall of Williamsburg, September 20th. All the tour dates at arthurbuck.com. Peter, I see a beautiful, really cool painted Gibson Dove guitar. You guys want to play a song for us and tell us what it is and just go for it?
It's called I Am the Moment.
From the new album.
Becoming free, it's not as easy as I'd like it to be. All these eyes that can no longer see, in disguise, buried into the screens of insignificance. But there's nothing to fear, just tune into the presence that's clear. What's real is always nearer than near. Just ask yourself, am I aware, and see what happens next. I am the moment, waiting for you. I am the moment, waiting for you. I am the moment, waiting for you and you and you. I am the moment, waiting for you. I am the moment, waiting for you. I am the moment, waiting for you and you and you. So take your time. There is no need for you to rewind or put a rope around the neck in your mind. To get out, you gotta go where you're blind and learn to see again. But I'll give you a hand. You're not wrong to always want to expand or find a kind of spiritual plan to go beyond space and time and all of this predicament. I am the moment, waiting for you. I am the moment, waiting for you. I am the moment, waiting for you and you and you. Last time you asked me asked me to believe that we're beyond our thoughts and our resolutions. Yes, we're beyond everything. I am the moment waiting for you. I am the moment waiting for you. I am the moment waiting for you and you and you. I am the moment waiting for you. I am the moment waiting for you. I am the moment waiting for you and you and you. I am the moment waiting for you. I am the moment waiting for you. I am the moment waiting for you and you.
Very nice. Arthur Buck is the band. Joseph Arthur, Peter Buck, the debut album, Arthur Buck. They're going to be playing at Music Hall of Williamsburg September 20th and on tour across the country. All the tour dates, arthurbuck.com. Peter, I have to ask you, I don't know if you remember this, but I don't know what REM album it was, but you guys did a special show for Q1043 at Montana Studios.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like kind of acoustic-y.
Yeah, acoustic, but I remember you did have a Rickenbacker, and I believe you had a Vox amp, so I was very happy standing right next to you, and our listeners were absolutely bonkers over getting this opportunity to see you guys play live. So I'll thank you again, you guys, for doing that. It was so much fun. I want to play the song off the new album, Are You Electrified? What can you tell us about this song, and then we'll play it.
Well, I mean, this one, at least in terms of just like this line about like, it's about time to make the world a better place was kind of like, okay, it's not like the greatest line in the world or whatever, but it's kind of like, I remember like thinking like I wanted to make sure the sort of songs had a positive momentum to them, and sort of like, rather than just writing about pain and desperation and stuff like that, but to try to like talk about sort of, you know, I don't know, things that could help inspire people, you know, and push people towards, you know, because we can all wake up every day, like decide if we're going to have a good day or a bad day. You got to kind of push yourself in the right direction.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So
you're
it's
right.
Kind of like that. And there was a lot of like momentum in this record. I've had a couple friends who tell me that like a couple of different people have been playing this in spin classes.
Really?
Which I think is
pretty
funny.
I bet you didn't imagine that.
No, but I think it's kind of cool, you know?
That is cool.
It's music to exercise to.
Well, I'm going to hold this album up to the cameras again. It's Arthur Buck. It's a debut album from Joseph Arthur and Peter Buck. Everyone go out and buy it. It's a fantastic record.
Please do.
Yeah, and they're playing Music Hall of Williamsburg in Brooklyn September 20th, and they're going to be touring across the country. All the tour dates, arthurbuck.com. Joe, Peter, thank you so much. And please come back anytime. Don't be strangers.
Thank you.
This is Out of the Box with Jonathan Clark on Q1043.